You're listening to the all-new CultureCast, Chicagoland's finest podcast. Hi, Gorehound. How's it going?
Oh, very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
And hello to you out there in listener land. This is our newest installment of the all-new CultureCast. What are we going to be talking about tonight?
WolfCop.
WolfCop, the 2014 horror comedy, which has grown a bit of a cult following and could currently be caught on Netflix. Kyle, let's start off here. What attracted you to WolfCop?
I thought it was just a ridiculous name, and I love ridiculous movies. At first, I thought it was an asylum
It
feature.
seems like it would be an asylum feature.
Right, but and so I mean anything that's like asylum or asylum-esque is like right up my alley, and so I got around to watching it. I think but then I realized that was back. But yeah, I mean, basically the draw of asylum brought me to it. How about yourself?
It was the week of Halloween, and I was looking for something to watch. It was late at night, and by late I mean like 9 o'clock. I didn't want to get myself involved in like a really long horror movie.
Yeah.
And when I was looking for horror films on Netflix, I was really, really disappointed on their selection. But then I saw they had WolfCop. I'm like, all right, this sounds dumb and fun. And it was only like an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, good enough for me. That's how I came across it. What did you think of WolfCop?
I loved it because I had watched it when I did the initial entry, and then I rewatched it this time. And yeah, I mean, it really holds up, and I did a whole lot of prep for this, because the day that we did it, for those who don't know, I work at my computer all day, and I kind of zone out by listening to podcasts, and so I listen to a lot of podcasts. And so I went searching for WolfCop review podcasts, and I actually found two. So I got some fellow Gorehounds opinions on this, and yeah, it was. I think it's universally, or amongst other horror-minded folks, it's pretty well respected.
Yeah, I'm looking at the reception section in the Wikipedia where it had a 67 approval rate for on Rotten Tomatoes, which for a horror film is actually pretty high.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did like it in that it's a film that has a very specific audience. And when it reaches that audience, they're going to like it.
Yeah.
I found it interesting that there were two podcast reviews for WolfCop.
Yeah, and actually one of them was really good. It was with the director, Lowell Dean.
Really? So they got him to...
Yeah, it was, I think it was Slackjaw Punks or something like that. And yeah, it's just like five guys just like talking about horror. And then at the end of the podcast, they did an interview with Lowell Dean, and so yeah, he was talking about the sequel, because there's a sequel.
Oh yeah, they teased it at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, and I just noticed it the second time around. But yeah, there was an Indiegogo, and I like immediately typed it in, and I was like, I want in. But it was ended up closing, I think, beginning of this summer. So I mean, regardless, I really want to get into one of those Indiegogo things. To get my like name on like some credits or something.
You're like in the like huge list of like special thanks to, and they have like 500 people, and they'll.
Right, but I don't care. I want to do it.
It's a very interesting movie in that it for the most part knows what it wants, and it's not trying to be. There's no pretension there. There's no like look at how great our film is. It's goofy, and it's meant to be goofy.
Right, it's self-aware.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, as Zach would refer to quite often.
Let's go into a bit of the plot of of WolfCop. I guess starts off with what's his name? Lou Garrow, not important. Yeah. Lou, who's sort of like a lovable fuck up in the town that he lives in. He's a cop, and through circumstances, he's captured by this strange group and has a strange ceremony, and he turns into like a werewolf. But the difference,
or he's infected by the werewolf virus strain.
Something happens, where he becomes, he essentially becomes a werewolf. But unlike other werewolf sort of movies, he retains his personality when he's the werewolf. And because of this, he decides to continue doing his cop job as a werewolf at night, but he's a little bit more badass about it with puns and ridiculous over the top violence and everything else. And spoilers for this movie, because there are no spoilers on our podcast as far as I'm concerned. At the end of the movie, he takes down the local town hierarchy, which are revealed to be some lizard people.
Yeah, dude. Vampire lizards?
I don't even know what... It's like, by the time we got to that, I'm like, okay, they're lizards. Sure, why not?
I'll take it.
Okay, you've got me this far. I'm just going to run with it. But, who want his blood to prolong their life. They need werewolf blood. So, not a very deep story, right. But, it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, what was your favorite aspect of the film?
I liked it when he officially became WolfCop, which was, I think, really his second transformation. And he soups up his car, and he just goes on that rampage of fighting crime. Because it's so ridiculous. What about you?
I think I liked just the actor in general. Because, I mean, I would have been fine just watching Lou, not as a wolf cop. Just being drunk and being weird. And at first I thought that, gosh, why isn't he turning into this wolf cop sooner? Because it's at least halfway through the film where he really begins his transformation.
I timed it. He doesn't become actual wolf cop until about 45 minutes in. And the movie's only an hour and 15 minutes.
Right, so you don't really feel like you get a whole lot of wolf cop. Even though once you do, it's pretty much worth it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I have to disagree with you on this aspect in that the actor, what's his name? Let me look up his name here. Leo Farfar? I don't know. I can't pronounce actors' names, and I'm not going to start now. He played a good, I don't know. He had that good, schmucky look about him. I was kind of bored up until when WolfCop showed up. I was like, oh God, where's WolfCop? I want to see WolfCop. And when WolfCop did show up, he did not disappoint. But it's like, I don't care about any of this. Come on, get to WolfCop already. And I appreciate they're trying to do a slow burn, but in a movie like this, for me, you got to get to the good stuff. But I don't know, maybe it was good the way they did it. That way WolfCop didn't outlast his welcome. But
the guy was, I don't know, just very entertaining, I thought. Because, I don't know, I felt like I connected with him. Do
you often get drunk and go to your work and fall asleep?
No, but I feel for him. It's just day-to-day stuff, and he's just trying to get by.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it is refreshing to see a movie where the guy's a cop, and to him, it's just a job. He doesn't really care about doing a good job. Yeah,
right. Because when he drives past that people who are beating up that guy, and he just smiles, and
even the guy who's getting beaten up smiles.
Yeah.
Maybe there is more merit to that beginning part then, but I love. Oh God, going back to that first night where he's Wolf Cop. I love how much stuff he was actually able to do during from 10 to 6 a.m. or however long that was. Not only does he break up that convenience store robbery, but he soups up his car completely from top to bottom, takes down that drug house, and goes back and has sex with that the bartender.
Yeah.
It's like, that was a full night for him.
Yeah. But it really did also set it up for the sequel, because now you really get a feel of who he is.
Yeah.
He got his car now, and he's just ready to, I don't know.
He's a superhero now. This was his origin film. Now, Now he could just be, oh no, there's trouble. I gotta jump into this phone booth and become Wolf Cop and save the day. But this movie really felt in many ways like a superhero film, like some piece of shit that Marvel crap out or something. But just because it has those same sort of story beats, like setting up the rules for this universe, and him becoming Wolf Cop and everything.
Yeah,
I have to say, I love that the fact that he is different from the other wolves that to set the scene for those of you who are listening. Apparently, the town leaders, who are these lizard people, have been doing this for hundreds of years. So every like 30 years or so, they need to make someone a werewolf to drink their blood to prolong their life. But I love what makes him different is that he's a raging alcoholic, and
Yeah.
somehow his alcohol like
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
like enhances his skills.
Right.
Like I thought for sure, and I'm glad the movie didn't do this because it really helps keep the movie as ridiculous as it is. I thought for sure the movie would have done something where he was like, "Well, I've changed. I can't be drinking anymore," and he like throws the bottle away as some sort of symbolic way that he's done with alcohol. But no, it totally doesn't do that. If anything, it says alcohol is good for him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I forgot that alcohol had played a major role in there. And perhaps would have been really good is to go like drunken fight Jackie Chan's drunken
Oh, the fighting drunken master.
yeah,
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
whatever it's called. Where like, he just gets like plastered and gets like, full on wolf cop,
Maybe they'll bring that in for the idea for the sequel. I don't know,
perhaps.
but
Yeah.
I did appreciate how like his alcoholism actually enhanced his powers.
Yes,
So
yes.
a lesson for all you kids out there: alcohol works. Drink responsibly. Yeah, I really appreciated
Yeah.
that element of the film.
And what was also good about it was that the effects were real.
Yeah, I love how throwback they were.
Yeah, because that first transformation in the bathroom was like
That was like,
that was what made me realize like this is not an asylum film. This is
this has some value in production.
right, right. So I was very happy about that, and they really kept it up. And they really didn't utilize the CGI until the very end.
Yeah, I mean, by that point, you're into the movie, and if the movie hasn't got you by that point, nothing else will. So,
Yeah,
you're at that point, you're in for the ride. So when it's revealed they're lizard people, and even if the CGI isn't the greatest, you don't care.
yeah, yeah.
You really don't.
So another thing that I really thought of was this movie Grabbers. Have you heard of this?
Uh-uh.
It's a British film where I don't know, I guess that's spoiling it, but gets the point across. It's a British film about this small bar where this giant octopus is attacking them, and the only way that they can escape this octopus is drinking. And so they all just get plastered and they become like immune to this. And while the premise wasn't the same, I felt that it reminded me of it hardcore, just in the whole style of the film, where you have this like, drunken guy who doesn't really care about anything, comes to save the day and solve everything. So it may be like a similar plot device to have that, but I don't know. If you're interested in WolfCop, I would really suggest checking out Grabbers, because I felt it was pretty similar.
So going back, I want to talk about some of these characters. We're jumping all around here, but that's okay. I want to talk about some of these characters in Wolf Cop here. Obviously, we talked a lot about our titular Wolf Cop, but let's talk about his sidekick, the Sergeant Tina,
Yeah.
the female cop that's constantly employee of the month. When you
Yeah.
see her bar there, I love how she goes from being this like the film really portrays her interestingly because she has this sort of uptightness about her, and
Yeah.
then when the first night that Wolf Cop happens and the skin and blood is everywhere in the bathroom, and she picks up like the
Right.
face. It's like, he looks like you. Hey, it's me. And she starts like talking through like the cutout of his like of the skin there.
Right.
Or one, I'm thinking, well, you're tampering with a crime scene, so congrats on that one, Employee of the Month. But two, oh my gosh, if we want to put this movie in a realistic setting, that is like borderline sociopathic of what she's doing there.
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But did you?
yeah.
Did you? The first every time I saw her, I kept on thinking it was the girl from Matrix. Did you see that?
I did not,
I
but
mean, I know it's not her.
but I see what you mean. There is a resemblance. She looks
Yeah.
like a very young Carrie Ann Moss.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's see, Amy Mileso.
Maddie, so
Yeah,
Maddie
sure.
Sio.
So yeah, and also with her, she seemed to hate the sexy bartender. Why
Right, because
was that?
she knew what was up.
Like she knew that they were all lizard people.
Yeah, because she just cares so much for her job and for what's his name in the movie? Lou.
Lou.
That she just knew something about it.
Okay, so I couldn't figure that part out. Like I knew that her dad used to own the bar, and there was for some reason there was a picture of her and her dad on the bar. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't figure that out. Like I thought
Yeah.
she was learning about all this crazy stuff at the same time, but maybe not.
No, I don't think that she knew, but she just knew that.
That she was no good.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've really liked her. Yeah, because as the movie progresses, she's not just like this annoying like goody two shoes. No,
Mhm.
she's
She's kind of badass on her own.
right, and they really make her evolve throughout the film to become something awesome,
Yeah.
and where she like starts getting like suited up. Because that
Mhm.
was awesome. Because I was thinking of Reno 911
Uh-huh.
in there, where there's just like these ridiculous people, but no, she was just like, that
Like-
I bet that's what a police officer actually feels like.
Like she's actually competent at her job.
Right, like yeah, maybe she like shadowed a police officer for a little bit and like knew like what's ridiculous and what's not and how to push it not too far.
I will say I have to thank the movie for not like turning her into like a love interest.
Mhm.
Like that they didn't like hook up at the end or something. I'm like thank you for that, because too many movies today, and granted they're mostly mainstream movies, are all about we have to have the hero fall in love and get the girl. And it's like no, you don't.
Right. I mean, you could just have a girl in there and just be a character.
Exactly, and that's why I really appreciated with this. Yeah, it's a ridiculous movie. Going back to, we started talking about, then we got way off topic, the effects in this film.
Yeah.
I love the practical transformation effects.
Yeah.
I love how, and this image always will stick with me, even though I know it's a fake image because it's costumes and everything. It's still so creepy when you see his skin peeling off and the hairs on the inside, and it's like a shell. I'm like, oh, that's so creepy looking, but it's so effective.
Right, and I mean, werewolves are like the perfect medium for really showing off some kick-ass effects. Because I mean, vampires and ghosts, you can't really do much with that. But with werewolves, unless you're going full on CGI, you could go crazy with this.
Yeah, makeup-wise, you're talking about.
Yeah, certainly. Because I mean, I don't really feel like werewolf movies are all that popular.
No, they really. We need to have a comeback with werewolf movies. Like, let's let vampires and zombies take a rest, and let's let werewolves have a little time to play.
Can I throw in a little tidbit?
You can.
Tomorrow I am finishing off one of my premiere tattoos.
Ooh.
It's going to be the basically the one that I've been looking forward to the most.
Is this with all the horror films?
It is, and the werewolf is the centerpiece of it all.
Is it going to be WolfCop?
No.
It's
actually.
Boo.
It's because it's not a specific werewolf. It's kind of a formation of multiple types, but it's primarily taken after the Dog Soldiers werewolf. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
Okay, Dog Soldiers is one of, I think, the best werewolf movies out there because these werewolves are just so humanoid and wolf-like at the same time. Where you look at it and you're like, that's a werewolf, but it's also human, and it's creepy and people are scared in there. I'm really looking forward to it. I got the line work done about a month ago, and so I'm going back to do all the color and all that. So
is this the place in Champaign?
Yep.
Do you want to put a plug in for the guy in Champaign?
Oh, I think that would only be good. Justin McCarty over in No Regrets Tattoo. He's the man. I've been going to him since my first tattoo back in, I don't know, quite a few years ago. So, yeah, he's great.
And in Champaign, Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right in that downtown area.
Nice. So for those of you in Champaign, Illinois, and you want to get a tattoo, go to No Regrets.
Yeah.
Although if it was me, I would name the place No Regrets. But that's just me.
I wonder if we do have, if anybody listening will actually take us up on this or live in Champaign. We would love to hear you. Leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment. You can email us to which reminds me I need to check my email on that. Um, and find us on Facebook, on Twitter, although you may not get much response on Twitter. But yeah, definitely, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
And if you get a tattoo, if you've gotten a tattoo from No Regrets,
Yeah.
Even more so. That'd be great. We'll have you on the show.
Yeah.
We'll just talk to you about how you're getting your tattoo, or rather, you and Kyle will probably talk because I don't have any tattoos, and I'm not. I don't see myself getting one. I'm not against tattoos. I got nothing against them as long as they're tasteful. But I can't think of an image I would want on my body permanently for the rest of my life.
Hey, I have a Skyrim tattoo.
Well, I mean,
it represents where you are at a certain time in life.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter if you move on from it. It means that you wanted that so bad at that point because it meant something to you right then.
How much is the tattoo? Or on like a range?
Pretty high up.
Yeah, exactly. I rather like couple hundred, 200, 300?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'd rather spend that money on, I don't know, my wedding, or say a new video game system, or a new computer, which I desperately need because this one is slow like no other. But so I could like use that couple $100. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, WolfCop.
Yeah.
I love the rap at the end. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I am the WolfCop.
So great. I even turned it up. Because it's stuff like that really gets you into a film. Because you're not a serious horror film. You're just something that people are going to want to watch for fun. And if you add fun shit, it just makes it all that great. And, it gets people talking like we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to talk about an asylum film.
That'd be very unlikely, I would say. Unless it's like
they're all
Sharknado.
the same.
Yeah.
It is nothing to talk about unless you're like Sharknado, where you have this huge following.
Yeah, unless it's like mainstream or something.
Right. It's not going to, but this is very Asylum-esque, and it's got people talking. It's got sequels coming up. And the director is all about the place because he's doing good.
Yeah, this WolfCop seemed to be very like a passion project for him.
Right.
And it seems really, it's a passion project, but he doesn't seem like he's full of himself with it. Like, I think he knows what kind of movie he's making, and he's totally cool with it.
He's an independent horror director that you can watch his stuff, and you know that it's going to, even if it's not that great, you know that he spent a lot of time on this and thought, and just he loves this. So it reminds me of Travis Betts, who did Low, and he just really, I mean, it's definitely not that big of a budget, but it's something that he spent a lot of time on. That wasn't just trying to get a few bucks out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. So I don't know. Have we exhausted our discussion on WolfCop?
Well, when you first started talking about the sidekick, I wasn't thinking of Tina. I was thinking of
like the crazy guy who betrays him.
Yeah, the mustache.
Yeah, the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I really liked him.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought he did a fantastic job, and he really kept us in and helped the movie forward, so that it's not just... He gave reason to a lot of things, and his twist at the end, that was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I have to say, for a movie that I was not expecting much out of, the story really kind of holds together. It's really tight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there were some things in there as I was watching it that... Not only with the sidekick, because I was the sidekick, not the sidekick, I don't know, the conspiracy theorist guy, I don't know what his name is, but how like he was kind of there to like lure Lou into doing the werewolf stuff.
Jonathan Cherry.
Okay, yeah, but like I was always confused, like when those three guys are killed at the not at the beginning, but when he changes to WolfCop for the first time, and the bathroom's a huge bloody mess. How the waitress isn't like fazed by it at all, and how she comes and sees him in the prison cell, and she's not freaked out that he's a werewolf. Like, wouldn't a normal person be kind of weirded out by that? But then it makes sense because she's a bad guy. She was expecting this from him.
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay, this movie shockingly is well plotted. So thumbs up, movie.
Yeah.
I am curious where the sequel will go, because
Where would you like to see it go?
Well, they kind of hint that these lizard people, they're not just doing this in this town, that they're all over the place. So I'm wondering if the sequel will leave the confines of the town so they could track down the evil lizard people and destroy them all. I don't know. Yeah. But I could see them going in that direction.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking he might start a family. I mean, honestly.
That might be part of it, yeah.
The name is Breed the Wolf Pack.
Oh, is that what the sequel is going to be called?
Well, that's what the Indiegogo project is called.
Mm.
So it may not be the same. It may just, I don't know. But
maybe that'll be an element. Like maybe they'll combine the two, because they throw that in at the end of the first movie about, because he asked him, why are you just wasting your time in a small dinky town? He's like, oh, we got more people around. So I gotta think that they're gonna do something else with it. But that's just me. And maybe he will start a family. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing else to discuss unless you do.
I hope they continue with the zingers in the second one.
Yeah. I mean, assuming that Lowell Dean is still directing and they get the original Lou. Yeah.
They say he's going to be in the second one. I'm reading it here. So.
Yeah, I mean, don't do the same thing and make it different, and I'll come back.
Yeah. I just loved it when he was out fighting crime. Oh my God! I can't believe I didn't talk about this. Well, one, I love his zingers. When he jumps into the convenience store and who's that? He's like, it's the fuzz, and he's all fuzzy. And how nonchalant he is when he sees his friend on the side of the road, and he's just like, hey guy, and just drives off.
Yeah.
But I love when he attacks that drug house and the carnage. I love it when he rips off the guy's face and the skull is still animated.
Yeah.
I was losing it. I was cracking up during that whole thing because it was just so over the top. I loved it. Oh my God. I want to see more of that. And with this film, it was good. I wish that stuff came sooner, but
yeah, because like I said in my original, it's a 4 out of 5. I mean, it's real solid. What would you give it 4 out of 5 or what?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say a 4 out of 5. I mean,
right.
If you are going in knowing what you're wanting to expect, if you're looking for something like high-end Hollywood blockbuster, this is not. If you're looking for just something fun, silly to sit back, have a beer, and just enjoy yourself, this is that kind of movie.
Right, these independent horror movies by independent directors, I don't know, they really bring and restore a lot of creativity into the industry, which is good. Because, I mean, we can't just have all these big Hollywood remakes coming out. We have to have these ones that really bring us back to why we like horror movies.
I mean, give some originality, and while Werewolf isn't the most original of ideas, they do something kind of fun and unique with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they throw lizard people in there, so, why not? I want an explanation about the lizard people. Are they aliens? Are they the Illuminati? What's their story?
Well, you think that they're vampires, right?
I never thought that they were vampires. I just thought they were alien lizard people or something. I mean, they need the blood to supply. They need the blood to live. I mean, I don't think that.
I guess that's why I thought vampires at first. But no, yeah, I guess that's not necessarily the case.
I mean, I guess we'll find out, and there's so many things the sequel needs to address.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to find the further adventures of the WolfCop. I don't know, that's all I got on WolfCop.
Yeah, I think we've quite covered it.
Yeah, so, for those of you who've been listening to us regularly, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. You might have noticed last week, as of this recording, we didn't have an episode. We were having some technical issues, but now we're back, and we should be on top of things. Although I guess I didn't mind the week break. Maybe that's something we'll look into in the future, where we do 5 episodes, take a week off, and do another 5 and cycle like that. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm your host, Nick, and with me is
the Gorehound.
Thanks for joining me tonight, Gorehound, and we will see you all very soon. You've been listening to the all-new CultureCast, where every episode is all new. Check out our blog, Zach and Nick's CultureCast, at znculturecast.wordpress.com, and find us on social media. Send us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, comments, and requests. Theme music by bensound.com. The all-new CultureCast, a saltwater production, copyright 2015. I'm just amazed that they actually have more than one and I guess we're contributing it. We're making it to a rounded number of 3
Yeah,
podcasts on WolfCop, which is probably 3 more than this movie actually deserves.
yeah.